Okay, so this is sample final question 15, and it's the last one from chapter 5. And since this one gives us the data all in a nice organized table with all the totals there, I don't really see any need to rewrite all the numbers. They're pretty easy to find the way they're presented here. It's graffiti reports in each of New York's 5 boroughs over a 1-year period. And so they're classified as from what borough they're from, but they're also classified by whether they're open, closed, or pending. If a report is selected at random, compute the following probabilities. So we're computing probabilities, so we're going to do part divided by the whole, and all of our numbers should be 0 point something. First one is the report is open and comes from the Bronx. If the keyword in there is and, you're just going to be looking for the one number in here that fits both categories. So if it comes from the Bronx, it's going to be in this row, and if it's open, it's going to be in this column, and of course just one number that fits both the Bronx and open is 1121. And with all of these, we're going to be dividing by this total, 14,518. There's a whole bunch of totals here, but this is the total of all the reports from all the boroughs, open, closed, and pending. So that's the grand total. So in this case, it's just 1121 divided by 14,518. And as it should be, it's a 0 point something number, round to 4 decimal places, so it'll be 0.0772. The next one, instead of it having and in it, it has or. So if the report is closed or comes from Brooklyn, then there's a few more steps, and I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to get these things that I previously highlighted to go away. Okay, so now we've got or. If it's or, then we need to, okay, closed or comes from Brooklyn. So we need all the closed reports, which have been totaled up for us here. And we need to add to that all the Brooklyn reports, which are totaled up here. But this group of numbers, the 2706, since they're in both categories, we have to be careful to not count them twice. And so this is the one that has the where you're subtracting out part of it. So we can take both totals and add them together. So 9869 plus 3924. But if we just added both of those together, then these 2706 are in both of those categories, so we're counting them twice, so we need to subtract them out once so that we're not double counting them. 2706 would subtract. So that is the total number of reports that are closed or come from Brooklyn. And then divide that by the grand total, 14,518. So divided by 14,518. And again, we get a 0 point something number. So to 4 decimal places, it would be 0.7637. Then we have report comes from Staten Island. So that one's actually pretty easy because we already have, I'm going to unhighlight these. We already have the total for the ones that come from Staten Island, and we have the grand total, so we just need to take Staten Island divided by the grand total, 201, divided by, oops, that was not 201, 201, divided by 14,518, and 0.0138. Hi, Katie. I'm doing a video. Can you be quiet for a minute, please?
I'm talking to my dog, so I can't.
Okay, so that was a fun little interlude. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. That was my daughter coming back in. Okay, probability that the report does not come from Staten Island. There's two ways you can do that. You can add up all the totals of the ones that don't come from Staten Island. So you can add up 2823 plus 3924 plus 4149 plus 3421. But there's an easier way to do it because we already know what the probability that they did come from Staten Island. That means the probability that they did not come from Staten Island is 1 minus whatever number we got for the probability that they did come from Staten Island. We can go up and grab that number, enter, and just very quickly get 0.9862. If we had done this other thing, added up all these numbers and divided by the total, we would have gotten the same thing. It just would have been more steps to get there. The probability that the report is open is just the total open reports divided by the total. Total open reports is 4471. Divided by the grand total, same thing, 14,518. 0.30079, and then the 9 has to round up, which means the 7 has to round up. So the way I look at that is look at 79, and 79 would round up to 80. So this would be 0.3080. And last one, report is from Manhattan or Staten Island. So again, it has the or in it. So we have to make sure, check and see if there's anything that would need to be subtracted that we're double counting. But in this case, if we look at the total for Manhattan and, what was it, Manhattan and Manhattan or Staten Island. So look at the total for Manhattan, the total for Staten Island. There's no numbers here that are in both categories, so then we can safely just add them together. 4149 plus 201 and divide that by the grand total, 14,518. And so in this one, even though the or is in there, we don't have to subtract anything, and that's because those two don't intersect anywhere. There's no numbers that are being counted in both categories. So answer is just 0.2996. So those are a lot of parts to this one, but they're very similar in terms of how you actually calculate them.